Hey everyone, thank you for taking the time to listen to another interview. This one with Maddie Maxx is very entertaining. I hope you enjoy it. If you don't know who Maddie Maxx is, go Google her name, Madi, M-A-D-I, Maxx, M-A-X-X, and you will be thoroughly impressed with her in-ring skills, and it was an honor and a privilege to interview her today. Before we get into the interview, I want to remind all of you to go to our YouTube channel, Chair Shots to the Cranium, and listen to all past interviews, all past shows. Everything can be found on our YouTube channel. Again, Chair Shots to the Cranium. And also follow us on Instagram and on Twitter. Chair, the number 2, Cranium, Chair 2 Cranium on Instagram and on Twitter. And also visit the website, chairshotstothecranium.com. Again, that is chairshotstothecranium.com. Everything imaginable is on our website. Past shows, past interviews, every single interview I've ever done is on that website. So go check it out, and also some other great wrestling facts and links to some really cool websites. So go check it out. You don't want to miss it. Mobile friendly as well. If you're like me, I hardly ever get on my laptop, and everything's done on my phone or on my tablet. So it's very mobile friendly. Chairshotstothecranium.com. Be on the lookout for our next show coming up. It's going to be the Cranium Correspondence, where we talk about all the latest news in professional wrestling, and then also the predictions for the Fastlane pay-per-view right around the corner. Don't want to miss it. Without further ado, let's head right into the interview that I did with Maddie Maxx. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest on Chair Shots to the Cranium interviews is one of the fastest rising stars on the independent wrestling circuit. At the young age of 21, she's already experienced great success as a champion, wrestled all over the country, and continues to turn heads and raise eyebrows with her fantastic in-ring skills and her phenomenal promos. It's my pleasure to welcome the electrifying Maddie Maxx. Maddie, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, thanks. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we are just a few days removed from the instant classic that you had with Taya Valkyrie at Universal Championship Wrestling's Clash of Champions pay-per-view that aired on Fight TV. Tell the fans about your experience with UCW and your thoughts on that great match that you had with Taya.
I really like working at UCW. That was my third time with them, I believe. And it was my first singles match with Taya, which was really, really exciting because, I mean, she is an international superstar and the current Impact Knockouts champion. So working with her was a really big checkpoint for me, and like a really big, I don't know what word to use here, but it was really fun. It was really great. And it was someone to add to my resume who I really look up to and admire. And so I'm really glad like UCW gave me the chance to wrestle her.
Yeah, y'all put on a great match. Very, very, very entertaining. Tell me about what are your thoughts on Universal Championship Wrestling? You said this is the third time that you wrestled for them. How do you feel about that company?
I really like working for them. They produce a really good product, I believe. And they always are bringing in people no matter where they are. And they have big names that they continuously bring in. And I mean, they have a freaking pay-per-view, so, I mean, they're doing pretty well, and I'm really glad that, like, I get to be a part of that, too.
Yeah, no doubt. That show in Athens, if you have not had a chance to see that match with Taya that Maddie had and the other great matches, you can still go to the Fight TV app and purchase it. I think it's $9.99, not very much at all. And like you said, the production of it was great. They what I love about them is that they do a great job of blending the old-school wrestlers with the newer wrestlers like yourself and current wrestlers. So it's a blend of everybody, past, present, future, and they just do a great job of that, in my opinion.
I think so too, especially having that variety. It just allows for every single type of wrestling fan to get involved.
I agree 100%. So let's take a step back to the start of your career. How did you get started in professional wrestling?
Well, when I was a little girl, I was like 8 years old, I think. My dad introduced me to it, and ever since that day, like, I just fell in love with it. And so when I was 17 years old, I decided that I was going to actually start looking into training schools, and I found one that let me train before I turned 18, so I started that exact same week. And ever since then, I've been wrestling.
Nice. So Dad turned you on to professional wrestling. Was there anybody in particular that you watched back then that just inspired you, that made you want to become a professional wrestler, I should say?
Yeah, he actually took me to an event because he was a huge fan of Ric Flair and wanted me to see some of his classic moves. And we saw him, but he didn't do the move he wanted me to see. But the only thing I actually remember, like, vividly from that night was seeing Edge. And since that night, like, he has been my favorite wrestler of all time. Like, and Lita's my favorite female wrestler of all time. And I used to play video games. I would always be them, or I'd always dress up after them. And I would always wrestle my chair and my friends, but I would mimic their moves. And they're, like, the reason I want to wrestle.
I tell you, I'm a big fan of Edge as well. Love his entrance music. Love it. One of the best. I think one of the top 5 entrance music, in my opinion, in professional wrestling.
He is I don't even know. Like, if I ever met him, I would cry. I'd probably mark out over him, and I know that's so unprofessional, but I would cry.
Yeah, he's great. I was there for WrestleMania in Atlanta to see his last match. Of course, at that time, did not realize it was going to be his last match, and I miss him. I really wish he could come back. Obviously not going to happen, but one of my favorites as well. He's fantastic.
Yeah, he can talk, he can wrestle, he can do it all.
Yes, absolutely. Now, of course, I've watched you wrestle in person a couple of times now, and I have to be honest with you. You may disagree with me when I say this, but I think your style and your character reminds me a lot of AJ Lee.
Okay, well, it's because I skip to the ring, and I don't even mean to. It just happens. I, like, come through the curtain, and something comes over me, and I just start skipping. But I can definitely see where you can get that from.
Have you heard that at all before? Anybody else said that to you?
No, not really, but
Yeah.
I was talking to Taya before our match, because we were talking about fighting with my family, that new movie that's out.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Thea, that's how you say her name, like, playing those characters, and I was like, I could totally, like, be the AJ Lee in that movie.
Oh, absolutely, you could. Absolutely. And not just you skipping to the ring. It's your style and how you wrestle in the ring as well. You have that intensity about you that she possesses, and just a lot of what you do and your mannerisms and your in-ring style remind me a lot of her.
Well, I was a fan of her for her short-lived reign in WWE, but I mean, I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, well, good. It is. It's meant to be a compliment. I promise you. So back in May of last year, you had the opportunity to be in the ring with Nia Jax during a segment on Raw. This was a huge opportunity for you, and if you haven't seen that segment yet, and you're listening to this interview right now, pause the interview, pull up Google, search Maddie Maxx versus Nia Jax on Raw, watch that match or watch that segment, then come back to the rest of this interview because it's going to make this question a whole lot better for you. So, talk to me about this opportunity and how it happened for you.
I was backstage at Raw as an extra talent, and John Cone, we were out at the ring just watching everything, like they're going over what's going on for the night, and John Cone told me and this other girl that I was with to go to the back, and we sat in the back for like an hour, just no idea what was going on. And one of the referees like came up to us because we had talked to him for most of the day, and he had the outline of the show, and he's like, one of you guys are going to be wrestling Nia. It says like Nia versus local here. And we knew like the last 30 minutes that's what we were doing, but we didn't know which one of those was going to be. And John Cone finally came up to us, and he was like, all right, so I think we're going to go with Maddie, and you're going to be wrestling Nia. And I was like, okay.
Nice.
And so like I had to change into my gear, and I went out to the ring, and I didn't know what to do. Like, do I, like, walk down the ramp, or do I stay on this side? Do I wait for someone to come get me? I was so, like, nervous, and I didn't want to make the wrong move or anything like that.
Sure.
And then we, like, went over what was going to go on, and, like, Finley told me how to react and everything, and they made me change my outfit because it was Memorial Day, and I was wearing red, white, and blue. And I got my makeup done, and it was just a whole ordeal, but it was super, super fun. Oh,
I can imagine. So I'm curious to know how strong Nia was compared to other opponents you'd been in the ring with up to that point.
Well, she had told me before we even went out there, she said, I really need you to, like, stiffen up, because when she does the cannonball, she just said that. She literally lands on you. I said, oh, Good to know. Good to know.
Yeah.
So I was out there, and like all the other moves were fun. Like I've taken Samoan before. Like that really doesn't matter how much bigger the other person is. They know what they're doing. She knows what she's doing. And then it was time for that part, and I was like, oh my goodness. And so I like stiffened myself up, and she legit did it. But like my adrenaline was going and everything, so it didn't hurt me or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it made me pee.
Oh,
so,
goodness.
Yeah. So
Oh, wow.
she's pretty strong. Yeah. And she is a very tall girl, and I'm 5 feet tall, so she definitely is a lot stronger than most opponents I've been up against.
Oh, I can imagine. I mean, like I said, she was picking you up and handling you very easily during that segment.
Yep. Because I had her in the arm thing, and she had to pick me up into a power bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, we practiced like the pickup like 5 times before the actual show started, and she literally was like, "You are so easy to pick up." I was like, "Good to know."
So did you get any advice from her or from Ronda or anybody else backstage while you were there?
Well, I actually went up to Ronda because I know how to do an arm part, but they wanted me to do like the UFC version, and I was just like running it by Ronda. So she's the one who taught me or told me how to like place my hands and everything for the arm bar. And then after the match, like Nia just kept hugging me. She's like, "That was so good." And Ronda came up to me and hugged me. And then backstage in the gorilla position where all the producers are and everything, John Cone was like, "That was so good." And like Finley like gave me a high five. And then Mark Carrano introduced me to Vince McMahon because of it. It was just, I think they were okay with it. And so I didn't really get like advice. They were all just like, "That was really good. Like, thank you."
Oh, that's awesome. So maybe, just maybe, that opened a door for you.
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be great. So going back to Ronda for a second, you had your chance to interact with her a little bit. What do you feel she brings to the women's division? How does she change that?
I think, one, she brings legitimacy to the whole business because a lot of promoters are more on the storyline side now, not the wrestling side. And I think bringing in a legit person who could beat up anybody on that roster really helped legitimize what they do and like help the women's division, because I mean Ronda Rousey is not someone to be messing with. So when you bring her into a division that has been seen as inferior or not as good as the guys for so long, you bring in this badass who legit could kick any of the guys' butts.
Yeah. I
think it just really, really helped the women's division because, I mean, the girls that were there before Ronda were no joke at all. But bringing in someone who has his background and everything, I think really helped.
I agree. And I feel she definitely makes it better. There's no question.
Me too, I think. And she's such a sweet girl.
Is she really?
Yeah, like, I've been around her twice for the one spot, and then I was around her, like, 3 months later. And she remembered me, which I think is really professional and, like, just a really good trait to have, to be able to remember people. And then she was, like, filming this kind of documentary, and just her excitement about wrestling and, like, the true fan she actually is, I just think is so cute. And she's just such a nice girl.
Yeah, she does seem that way. She absolutely seems genuine. She seems like a genuine human being that loves professional wrestling.
Yeah, like whenever I approached her, she was on the phone and she was like, 1 second, she's like, grabbed my toothbrush and like hung up. She's like, "What's up? Can I help you?" And like, she ended her phone call just to help me.
Oh, nice.
For this one spot, yeah.
So what are your thoughts on the current state of women's wrestling?
I think we are killing it. I mean, we're main eventing WrestleMania. Taya and Tessa right now have like 18-minute matches on Impact. I think girls all over the world are just like being recognized for the hard work that they put in. We don't go in there just to wear sparkles and stuff. Like, we do this for the love of it, just like the guys. And I think people are really starting to see that right now. And I think women's wrestling is in a really good state because you can be however you are and still have a shot. Like, you don't have to be a model anymore. Like, Nikki Cross is a WWE Superstar, and then you have people like Ruby Riott. Like, I think it's just paving way for girls to be whatever they want to be and be whoever they want to be and still have a shot.
Absolutely. Very diverse. Very diverse
Yes.
division. I love that about it. I love it.
Yeah, because it always gives, like, a little girl someone to look up to. Like,
Sure.
whenever I was growing up, I mean, I loved the girls I grew up watching and everything. But, like, let's say there was no Paige. Like, let's say that's who I was. Like, I didn't have someone like that to look up to at all.
Right.
And now you could be, like, a country bumpkin, and, like, you have Sarah Logan to look up to, or, like,
Right.
Tatted and everything. You have Ruby Riott. But then again, you have, like, Mandy Rose still. Like, it's just so... It gives everybody somebody.
Now, is there anyone you have your eye on that you'd love to lock up with in the ring?
Like in WWE or just in general?
In general.
I used to say Taylor Hendricks, because whenever I first met her, I, like, loved her, but I've, like, had my chance to wrestle her. So I've had to, like, rethink about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know, this is, like, kind of a hard question. Out of everybody right now, I think I've never had the chance to lock up with Tessa, and I think that would be a really great thing because she's young like I am,
Mm-hmm.
and we're both from the same place, like in North Carolina. I think she'd be a great one to lock up with. I've never locked up with Jordan Grace. Like, she's only been my tag team partner, so I think being on the opposite side of the ring and seeing how her mind works would be really, really fun and really a good thing for me, too, to learn from her because she's young as well, but she's been doing this for years. It's not even funny. Yeah, probably those two right now.
Okay. So far in your career, you can boast that you're the youngest ever women's OVW champion.
Yep.
Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
Besides the match that won you that championship, who do you feel you've had your best match or matches with?
I think one of my best matches ever was with Lufisto. She is really, really good at what she does, and she made me look great. I think that was one of the best matches I ever had. It was one of the longest matches I ever had, too. So, and then I was really young when I had that match, too, so just having it set or so early in my career, it really just gave me confidence for the rest of my career.
Yeah.
And then, since then, I really liked my match with Taya. Like, she pushed me out of my comfort zone. Like, I had never taken a German before in my life. I just don't trust many people with that move.
Yeah.
And I trusted her with it. And, like, the Canadian Destroyer, I'd never done that before. And she trusted me with that. And so she really pushed me out of my comfort zone to, like, explore my abilities a little bit more. And I really, like, appreciate that. And I thought we had a really good vibe, and our chemistry was really there. And I really like working with Jessie Bell just because she's more old school.
Yeah.
And ever since, like, she met me, she just took me under her wing, and she's been, like, my wrestling mom, I guess. So I love working with her as well.
Going back to your match with Taya for a second, you did a move during that match. And again, if you want to see this match, go to Fight TV, purchase, look for Universal Championship Wrestling, Clash of Champions. During that match, you did this flip into a pile driver type move on Taya. And she pops up and just completely dazed, and then down in the mat she went. Phenomenal move. What was that? How did you do that?
That's the Canadian Destroyer.
Oh, my God. Unbelievable.
We were, like, in the back in the dressing room. She's like, do you think you could give me this move? And I was like, I have never done that before in my life. She says, it's really just on me. Just, like, make sure you squeeze your legs. And I was like, okay, like, if you say so. She's like, I trust you, like, not to kill me. And I was like, great. Good to know. And then, like, during the match, I was like, oh, my God, it's about to come up. And it just happened so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me after the match, she said, like, when I sat up, I looked over at you, and your face was just so happy that you did it. And I mean, I'm not going to do it to everybody now because I don't trust everybody because it's all on them to flip.
Right.
But it's something cool I got to say I did now. And thanks to her. Yeah,
and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. I'm standing there at ringside. I'm taking pictures. If you want to see pictures of the match, you can go to my website, cheershotsofthecranium.com. Look at these pictures. It'll also be on the UCW website, ucwtv.com. And I'm taking pictures of the website. Of the match. And I'm like, holy crap, what just happened? That was unbelievable.
Yeah, she was like, do you know how big this crowd's going to pop if you do that move to me? And I like tuned them out, I think, after it because I was just so happy it didn't kill her.
Yeah.
But I'm about to go back and watch the whole thing.
Yeah, you did it. You did a beautiful job. It's awesome. So kudos to you on that. So
Thanks.
you're welcome. So I mentioned earlier, maybe a door's open to WWE with your experience there. What do you think the chances are we may see you in the next Mae Young Classic?
I don't really know. Like, I thought the Nia spot last year would get me in the door for that. But I don't know. We'll see. Especially, like, with them signing so many girls recently.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they use more girls that aren't signed. Because I know they always have a mix of, like, their NXT talent and indie girls.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully they just use indie girls because, I mean, Rachel and Chelsea and Karen and Deanna all just got signed. And they've been in it before. So we'll see. If they use a bunch of indie girls, hopefully my chances are high.
Yeah, hopefully so. You deserve to be in my opinion.
I think so too.
So if we did another interview together 5 to 10 years from now, what do you hope to tell me about the changes in your career or the accomplishments in your career since this interview today?
I really want to go like international with it, and this is like 100% the only job I have. I would love to say that wrestling supplies and everything. I really want to travel a lot with it. I do travel around to different states and everything, but I would love to go to different countries and just explore them and have the opportunity to do what I love while like exploring the world at the same time. I think that'd be really cool. Hopefully, I've been signed a couple times to different places. I want to wrestle for all the major companies. I want to be recognized. Like, my name has a little, like, ring to it. If you hear, you're like, oh, I know who that is, kind of thing.
Right.
And I want to still be wrestling. I don't want to have an early career, like, due to injury or anything. So hopefully I'm still healthy when I talk to you in 5 to 10 years.
Hopefully so.
Hopefully I have a bunch of championships. That doesn't really matter, but, like, a bunch of different promotions under my belt.
Yeah.
And hopefully it's the only thing I have to do to survive.
Absolutely. Well, I hope the best for you. You have all the potential in the world. I'm not just saying that because I'm doing this interview with you. I truly mean that. I've seen everything I see of you, and like I mentioned in my opening statement, your promos are fantastic. You do a great job. You have this. You're very comfortable in front of the camera, and that's a very important thing to have in professional wrestling. You can have the greatest in-ring skills in the world, but if you don't have that personality and you don't have the ability to entertain people on the microphone, you may not go as far. So you have both.
Thank you.
So what advice would you give a young woman like yourself who's thinking about making a career out of professional wrestling?
My first advice would be get in a ring and make sure that it's what you want to do, because when I first started, my first trainer, Josh Gary, he like tried to talk me out of it for an entire week because he said, this isn't just a hobby, like, this is going to consume your life. Like, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And with you being so young, you need to make sure that you want to start this journey now versus later. So my advice would be really sit down with yourself and make sure this is what you want to do, because I know as a college student and a professional wrestling, like, I have to give up a lot of college experiences, like a lot of things with my friends, a lot of things with my family, so I can wrestle. And it gets really tough sometimes. Like, sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on a lot of things, but in the long run, this is what I love. And I know I'm going to look back in, like, 5 years, and if I don't give it my all now, I'm going to be really mad at myself. So just make sure it's what you want to do. Get in a ring. Make sure you can handle wrestling. Make sure you can handle the bumps and everything, because it's not just glitter and makeup and hair and all this stuff. It's hard work and sweat and bruises and cuts and blood and everything. So I would just, my biggest advice is just look yourself in the mirror, make sure what you want to do, and if you do want to do it, don't half-ass it, like, really do it.
Right. That's fantastic advice. All right, Madi, this is the Cranium Shot portion of the interview. I'm going to say a name, and you give me your first reaction. It can be a one-word answer. You can go on and talk about it however you want to do, whatever comes to mind, okay?
Okay.
All right, Samantha Starr.
Third match ever. Very fun.
Third match. Wow, I didn't realize that. Priscilla Kelly.
you say her name is that thing that went viral during her match.
Yeah, she's going to be known for that for a while, right?
Yeah.
Rosemary.
Scary, but very fun worker. And really, one time I worked her, she was hurt, so we had to do the whole match, and it was all character work, so it was super fun.
Charlotte Flair.
I think an idol.
All right, good answer. Becky Lynch.
So freaking pretty and so freaking good.
I agree on both of those very much.
So pretty.
Madi, I greatly appreciate your time today. I look forward to seeing you again in the future. Hopefully I'll get to see more of your matches in person. I've been very lucky to see 3 so far. So I hope to see you again. Where can fans find you on social media?
I'm on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. It's Madi Maxx, MADIMAXX. Just search my name and I'll be the first one that pops up.
Well, great. So fans, if you want to see Madi's match again with Taya Valkyrie at Universal Championship Wrestling's Clash of Champions, you can go to the Fight TV app and purchase the show for a very low cost of $9.99. You can also watch all the other great matches that was on this awesome show, Universal Championship Wrestling. If you don't know anything about them, you better find out now. They are one of the hottest independent wrestling companies on the planet. You can follow them on Instagram and on Twitter at UCWTV. You can find them on Facebook and go to their website, ucwtv.com. You can also purchase tickets to a lot of their future events on that website. Madi, again, congratulations on your great success so far in such a young career. I cannot wait to see where your career goes from here, and I hope that I can definitely interview you 5 to 10 years from now like we talked about.
Me too. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome.